Hi, fourth graders, it's Mr. Holt. I'm here to do another read aloud from the book National Parks of the USA. We'd already read about the Everglades National Park in Florida. That was from the east section of the book. It's one of the national parks that's located on the eastern coastline or eastern portion of the United States. It was down in Florida. It was just one of a few national parks that can be found along the east. I'm kind of skipping the central region. There's a handful of national parks in that region, and they do look pretty cool, but I'm only going to read about 5 of these, and I kind of wanted to get to some of the ones that are a little bit closer to where we live here on the West Coast. So the national park I'm going to read about today is located in the state of Texas. It is called Badlands National Park. I should double check that. No, it is not. It's called Big Bend. Big Bend National Park. The air is dry and the sun is hot in the Chihuahuan Desert, but this park is full of life. About 60 species of cacti and 400 bird species carve out a living here. Watch for cottontails and jackrabbits zigzagging through thorny plants. In the middle of the park, mountain lions and black bears roam a small kingdom of spiky peaks. See those furry pig-like animals with pointy snouts? Those are javelinas, foraging for plants. What gives the desert so much life is the Rio Grande, which marks the border with Mexico and sculpts canyons like the Santa Elena, where you can crane your neck to see cliffs higher than New York's Empire State Building. When evening comes, take in the clear night sky and listen for the howls of coyotes. So again, Big Bend National Park is located in the state of Texas. It's marked by the black dot there. It was founded in 1944, and its size is 800,000 acres. Here are some of the things that you might find in Big Bend National Park. Prickly pear cactus. During wet years, the biggest prickly pear cacti grow delicious red fruits that are as sweet as apples. You may remember that Sacagawea helped Lewis and Clark and the rest of the Corps of Discovery find ways to eat the prickly pear. I don't know if they ate the fruits. I don't know if they were able to get that fruit, but they also ate other parts of the prickly pear. A javelina looks like javelina, but javelinas live in herds and survive with very little water by eating the juicy pads of prickly pear cacti. Mountain lion. Mountain lions can eat as much as 30 pounds of food in one sitting. Visitors report about 150 sightings of these big cats in the park each year. Hot springs. Don't forget your swimsuit. Groundwater heated deep in the earth bubbles out of the desert on the northern bank of the Rio Grande at 105 degrees. That's as hot as bathwater. The ruins of a former resort with an historic bathhouse built in 1909 still collects the water in a big steamy pool. Slip in for a soak in the ancient waters as they are believed to have therapeutic effects. Blue bonnets. In spring, the desert explodes in colorful wildflowers and cactus blooms. Blue bonnets grow up to 4 feet tall and are so abundant that they turn roadsides blue. A century plant. The largest agave in the park, the century plant grows between 20 and 50 years before blooming one precious time, and then it dies. The roadrunner. Beep, beep. Roadrunners rarely fly, but they can run about 15 miles per hour. When food is scarce, females occasionally feed younger hatchlings to their older siblings. Yikes, I wish I wouldn't have read that. Sky Islands. About 15,000 years ago, the last ice age was wrapping up, and forests still covered the area. As the climate warmed, trees sprouted on higher and cooler ground. Eventually, the whole area turned into a desert, and the forest survived only in cool Sky Islands, like the Chisos Mountains, which rise to 8,000 feet. Now these shady hideouts are home to rare plant species found nowhere else on Earth. One grass, the Guadalupe fescue, is so rare, fewer than 200 tufts survive high up in the mountains. A couple more animals here. We have the spadefoot toad. To hold in moisture, spadefoot toads hang out underground in a coat of slime. When they hear rain, they quickly find a puddle, sing to find other toads, And then tadpoles hatch and grow up in just 2 weeks. And lastly, a black-tailed jackrabbit. These hares can hop 20 feet when panicked. They have up to 6 litters, as many as 8 babies annually. And a sotol. Native Americans ate the seeds and flower stalks of sotol. They also used plants or parts of the plant to make baskets, roofs, and walking sticks. So that's Big Bend. Double check on that. Yep, Big Bend National Park in the state of Texas. Another one of the national parks in the United States of America. And I'll be back next week. Read a couple more of these as we get closer and closer to the West Coast and our home state of Washington. Talk to you later, guys.